All right, the time has come, and and we've finally experienced Halloween Ends, and
Yeah, I'm a few.
Jamie Lee Curtis was right. It certainly ended.
Yeah, I'm a few hours from seeing it. You were just ahead of me. I think you went at 4:15. I went at 6.
Yeah, I came home and started again on Peacock, but didn't get too far because my kids
Uh,
came in the room. But
I did the same. I walked out of the theater and immediately put Peacock on to see if there was any difference, and there wasn't.
no,
Sadly, there was no difference. Okay, so last night, sitting there, and everybody had seen it already because it dropped on Peacock around 7 o'clock or so, or something like that. I had several messages telling me, "Hey, it's on Peacock. Hey, it's on Peacock." That's great. I'm not going to watch it till tomorrow. Thank
right?
you. Please keep your spoilers to yourself.
Yeah. We talked about that. We were both of
Yeah,
us were committed to seeing it in the theater. It's the last Halloween movie for a long time,
yeah.
and let's do it that way.
And I had sent you a few things that I saw, spoiler free, of course, just people saying they didn't like it, they thought it was terrible, this and that and that and this. And then there was something that hit me. And I sent that to you too. And it was the opening credits that were done in the style of Halloween 3, Season of
Yeah,
the Witch.
thought that was cool. Yeah,
And I immediately said to myself, without even seeing the movie yet, he's making his own version of Halloween 3, and this is why everyone's going to be pissed. And he did just that.
Yeah.
If you look back, before we dive into the movie itself, if you look back into the entire series, 2018 was 78. Halloween Kills was Halloween 2. It's the same thing. It takes part the same night. You got your hospital element.
Right.
And Halloween Ends was Halloween 3.
Yeah.
It really was.
Down to really, again, we're focusing on the mask. The mask is a huge part of this. And it makes me think that when the rumors started circulating that there was going to be a Halloween 3 element, that is where that came from. Because everybody, even my wife on the way home, she said, it's the mask, isn't it? Like, obviously it's the mask, something about the mask. And we still don't know what it is exactly.
No, but there's some unanswered questions still there.
For sure.
The tower really played no part in this movie at all.
Yeah, I mean, they acknowledged it, they showed it, they focused on it a couple times, but in terms of,
then it was on fire.
Yeah, like, okay. It was, which was interesting.
Yeah,
my initial thoughts on this one are, it was a good movie. I mean, in my opinion, it was a good movie. It told a solid story. It was well acted. It really got you invested in the characters. I mean,
yeah, very character driven. Yeah.
Very much. And I enjoyed that. I think of all three movies, it might have been the most complete, not necessarily from the standpoint of a Halloween film. I'm looking at it as its own thing.
Yeah.
I think it was the most complete movie, without any huge mistakes in terms of, the flow and what they wanted to do. And it was very different. It did not feel like a Halloween movie. It did not feel like a Michael Myers movie.
No, it really didn't.
It barely, to me, felt like a horror movie. At some points.
Let me ask you this, because we were discussing this on the way back home. In the sewer, when they were killing the cop, okay?
Yeah.
Michael looked to be getting stronger each time he stabbed that cop. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he looked very weak up to that point.
Right. So, and then I'm sure we're going to talk about that some more too. But
yeah.
Then you also look at the part where he showed up at that girl's house and killed her. I almost feel like Michael really wasn't there, and that was just Corey envisioning himself, and he's the one that did that. Because think about this though. When Laurie appeared at the house where he was at, she wasn't
there either. No.
Yeah, that never happened. I think he was envisioning himself as Michael, and that's what made him go get that mask and finally want to do it.
I just don't believe that he was able to pin her to the wall like that.
I don't, there was something about that. It was so weird that you get pulled down into the sewer. I don't even know if
Yeah.
Michael was the one to pull him down in the sewer. I thought he was one of the fucking rats or something. I don't even know.
Some big ass
And
rats.
right. And then you go down there, and then there was that strange exchange where like you almost looked into his eyes and you saw everything real quick, And
There's your
then
there. By the way, there's your brain waves.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I, I feel like Michael was really disrespected in this movie as far as the Michael that we know and love. When he went down there and was like basically roughing him up, I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah,
No.
that was so. Now you're getting to the issue I have with the movie. I mean,
Yeah.
and going into it, we've said from the beginning, no matter what we end up walking away with, there are going to be issues that we all have. And
Yeah.
I felt that they played Michael out to be weak, almost to a
Yeah.
point where it didn't make sense to me. Like it didn't
No.
make sense because when you look at how strong he was at the end of Kills,
Yeah.
I
He
wanted
took
to,
a fucking beating
yeah,
in Kills, man.
yeah. Now my wife had said to me, "Hey, maybe that's why he was so weak. He took such an ass whooping at the end of Kills. They've gone out of their way to make it clear to us that he's not a supernatural being. He is a man,
Right.
a man with extraordinary abilities that make you question his
Yeah,
mortality.
absolutely.
So okay, that's fair. So maybe yeah, he took such an ass whooping. He's been in the sewer for 4 years. He's permanently damaged from getting shot and stabbed and he just and maybe that's why he's been gone. I mean, he's been killing. Obviously, he's been pulling people down into the sewer and killing them. Is what I mean.
Oh, absolutely.
Totally, he's been pulling a Pennywise, living in the sewer and.
Yeah, pretty much. He didn't ask you about no balloon. He just pulled your ass down there and fucked you up.
Dude, when they showed the little sewer entrance, I literally just sat there and said they all float down there.
Right. I you know, I understand where people are upset about the fact that Corey's story kind of took over the whole movie.
Yeah.
Um, it was funny though. I was sitting there and I was watching it, and the part where the kids started messing with him, I was like, "Well, I'll be damned. I was right about that." I told Alan, I said that picture looked like he was being bullied,
Yep.
and maybe Lori's the one that saves him. And sure enough, that's
There she
exactly what
was. Yeah.
happened.
Yep.
I think it was really weird that she kind of invited the kid into her house that quick,
Yeah.
and boom, and hey, and him, and for a while there, I thought Allison might be putting on the fucking mask and killing people.
I
I
said
thought
the
she was
same
gonna,
thing. I thought she
yeah,
was gonna go in the way he was like, oh, let's burn it down and all that. And
yeah. Yeah, I really thought that we were going to end up. I thought for a minute there, maybe when we were seeing Michael killing people, it was her, and he was watching her do this. But I
right.
was like, man, maybe they're going to go wild with this thing. I didn't know
Yeah.
what to expect.
Yeah. I mean, they ended it conventionally in a way. I mean,
Oh,
it
let's
came
not even
down
talk
to
about that ending yet.
eh, but the rest of the movie, I mean,
Okay, let me just tell you something I was not expecting was Sandra. That blew my mind.
yeah, how did she?
Dude, she had to have sat there for hours until they finally came to her house. Because let's be honest, she died earlier well, we thought she died earlier in the
Well,
movie.
yeah, but she got so fucked up. That is more. That's a good point. That's more egregious than Hawkins.
Yeah. I mean, she got an entire bulb
Bulb
stuck into
through.
her
Yeah,
neck.
yeah.
Now, granted, when we last saw her, she was still gasping for air. She wasn't dead yet. She watched her husband get killed.
So do we now go through and subtract kills from Michael's Halloween kills total?
You would have to. Sandra's still alive. So yeah, and then see Julian walking there at the very end. That was a nice little. That was cool to see.
That was cool. Yeah, yeah, I noticed that too.
I have to.
Did you see Nick Castles?
Yeah, I thought that was great. I loved.
I saw it. And I didn't. I saw it, and I was like, "Holy shit! That was Nick Castle. That was the cameo."
I feel like he could have also played that bum too. Just for fun.
He should have, because when he says, "I'm Michael Myers," that would have actually been great. That they should have. I didn't even think about that until you just said that.
That would honestly, I was sitting there and I looked at Cassie. I said that should have been Nick Castle. That should have been his role. Yeah,
because he said, "I'm Michael Myers." Yeah,
yeah. But I don't know, man. I left. Well, you said it too, and I agreed with you. You just have a very weird feeling about it.
Yeah,
It literally killed my entire morale. Like I'm like, oh,
it is. It is. It was a very weird movie. And here's the thing: I went into it with the expectation that I'm not seeing your traditional Halloween movie. We'd seen enough. I'd heard enough. We talked about it for months. I was not expecting, and I was expecting something different. I just can't pin this one down.
You're just let you know your thing's lagging up. It's lagging a little bit.
Oh,
Your video. Just letting you know.
all right. Well, hopefully it's not too bad.
No, dude, I feel like the same way. I didn't go in expecting a lot because I mean, like I said, I saw a lot of people say they couldn't stand it.
Right.
And I was like, man, it's got to be really bad. I feel like they made some bold decisions.
Yeah.
Here's some ballsy decisions too.
No doubt. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's why I'm not too taken aback by it. Here's why I can objectively say I did enjoy the movie. Is that I know that there's going to be a reboot or a remake, or they're going to make another sequel, or something's going to happen somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
I think this timeline's obviously done.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no coming back from that.
Yeah. But I can look at it as just another entry, just another, story, and it's going to be one of those things you either I mean, if you are if you're a fan of a movie that you want it to be your standard slasher, Michael centric, and this is not for you. This is almost a drama from start to finish.
Yeah. Coming off of Ends, it was a weird decision to go that route, I'd say.
Totally different, way different movie, way different feel, way different. Even from the start, it just felt like a different movie. It did not at any point in time feel like a Halloween movie at all.
So let me ask you this: as you were sitting there watching that, did you think to yourself, this has to be the version that people hated during test screenings?
Oh yeah. I don't know what people saw that they listen. Here's the thing. So I'm thinking about this in two different ways, because I didn't dislike the movie. I don't think you liked it at all.
Well, okay. No, there was part of it I liked.
Okay. I liked the movie as a whole. I thought it was an enjoyable experience. And if I could take the Halloween element out of it, I would be sitting here and say that was a good movie.
But you want to know what you just described? Halloween 3.
Yeah, you're right. And I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah, no, he did this on purpose. I said that to you last night. This was on purpose.
Yeah.
Everything that we said over the past couple months, I said he's been showing us those masks and those movies. He's been hitting little things at Halloween 3.
Yeah.
This is why. As soon as that opening credit opened up, I said, this man just made Halloween 3. And he's telling us this from the opening credits of the movie.
Yeah.
Here's my version of Halloween 3. It's going to piss you off.
Yeah.
And they already know that everybody hates, well, not the majority anymore. It's gained a cult following.
Right.
But Halloween 3 was hated for the longest time. And now everyone's saying, I bet y'all love Halloween 3 now, and as opposed to what you just watched. So now people are starting to realize that this is what you're getting. I can't say that there's part of it I like. I won't lie. I liked some of the stuff that was done. I think I didn't like the way they portrayed Michael. I will say their final fight was
I didn't care for the way they portrayed Michael either.
No.
I thought their final fight was too short.
It was very lackluster.
It wasn't the big showdown that
no.
I don't have a problem with her killing Michael. I think her character deserves that. Yeah,
okay. So as a Michael Myers fan, obviously, I can sit here and tell you that I know and I get that Michael Myers had to die. I get it.
Right. For the story to end, he had to die.
100% have to get. I get it. Dr. Loomis has been saying it since the tapes on 2000. It has to die. It needs to die. I get it. Right. I know that he needed to die. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like he was done very wrong though in his death. I mean, dude, when she took the mask off, he was laying there, which you could see of his face. He looked like old Lopan
Oh, he
from
looked
Big Trouble in Little
terrible.
China.
He
Yeah,
looked
he
horrible.
had that little ratty goatee like
Yeah.
Lopan had, and he was like bubbled and burnt and just
Hmm.
crispy and uh
And he was twitching like a motherfucker too.
yeah. I mean, he was breathing like he was on his last leg. You
He had
can
a death
hear the
rattle go. He had a death rattle going on.
yeah. I mean, she pinned him down to the table, threw a goddamn refrigerator on his legs.
Yeah. Well, and the thing
I
is
mean,
Michael didn't even want any of this. He was content just being in the sewer,
yeah,
eating homeless folks. You know what I mean? And then this little snot nosed shit bag
yeah,
comes down in, and I'll tell you what though, when he stole the mask and you see him sit up and look, I was like,
man,
oh, he fucked up.
yeah. I say you're fucked now, dude.
And he
And
was
that's the
too.
thing,
I
dude.
am
Like,
glad. The one thing that I'm glad they did is they let Michael finish off Corey.
oh, if they wouldn't have, I'd have been mad as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have been mad as
Because
hell.
I was getting pissed whenever she had him down and we thought he was dead. I was like, motherfucker, no, that should have been Michael's kill.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted
Oh,
that to be Michael's kill. And
yep.
so thankfully it was. You know,
The only thing I can say that I didn't like about certain things was you put so much emphasis on Corey, but then like Lindsay barely had anything in this movie
yeah,
again.
what the fuck was that about? She was
Uh,
so
is
popular as a
it?
character and
Yeah, and she barely
kills.
had shit. As much as I don't like him as a character, Barker shows up in about 2 seconds into the end of the
Yeah.
movie, and but he had a redeeming quality this
He was
time.
less worthless this time.
He said, "Fuck the law. We're gonna set this motherfucker off. It's time to
Yeah.
let that go."
Yeah.
And I'll give him credit. He redeemed himself for the past two movies.
Yeah.
As a character, I was like, okay, you know what? I see what they did with him. All right, they
Yeah.
understand that we didn't like his character. They
Yeah.
made us like him right
Yeah.
there. And I felt like Hawkins didn't have enough either.
He did not. No, you're
No,
right. He did not.
no,
And it almost seems it's a little strange because they put Lindsay through some shit and kept her
yeah,
around.
yeah,
They went way out of their way to essentially retcon Hawkins' death
yep,
and keep him around, only
yes,
for them to play minimal roles in this. It,
yep,
it really makes me think and believe, and I know there was that after they made kills with everything with the pandemic and everything else, they totally changed course as to where they were planning on
they
going
had to.
with
Yeah,
this
they had to.
with this
They
franchise.
had to.
This was
100%.
never the original
Uh,
plan.
Now, I'm sure you saw all the Christine in there, and it wasn't just the junkyard. I was, however, waiting for the car to be in the junkyard. I was looking for it. I'm not gonna lie, I was
It's
looking
one of those
for it.
things where you're kind of like, why didn't they do that?
Right. Honestly, it should have been sitting over there in the junkyard.
Yeah.
But I saw the Christine elements. They were 100% there. It was
Mhm.
obviously the way that Corey changed once he met Michael.
Yeah.
Obviously, he became obsessed.
That was one of
You
the
know,
cool things about the whole movie was you watched how Corey went from an actual like likable sympathize, like you could sympathize with his character. You felt bad
yeah,
for him.
and you did. Yeah,
And you watched him, he was made like he was turned into, he was slowly but surely all of those elements that you hear about, that all these serial killers, the crazy over obsessive mom, the
oh yeah,
bullying, the,
yeah.
you know what I mean, the traumatic experience, all of that created what he ultimately became. And another thing I got to ask, what the fuck is wrong with the people of Haddonfield?
And that's what I was just gonna say to you. They made the town of Haddonfield the villain in this movie.
Oh,
They were,
no doubt.
yeah.
No doubt.
Look at the way they were treating Lori.
Yeah.
Look at the way they treated Corey.
Yeah.
Obviously, Michael Myers. And that's the thing. I think that was more or less to show that, okay, so Michael Myers went away. Now we need to fuck with someone else.
Always got
So
to
they
have a
start
boogie.
blaming,
We always have to have a boogeyman. Have to have
right?
somebody. Yeah.
So
And it was Lori, then it was Corey, and then
yeah,
and
Corey
Allison to
started
an
out.
extent.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, her too. Because Corey started out looking like Clark Kent from Superman, and then he turned into like fucking, evil Superman or some shit.
We're
But
gonna
like,
have fun tonight.
right. When
How
he was,
disturbing was it watching the kid die though at the beginning?
yeah, wow,
That
that
fucked
was,
with me. As the father
yeah,
of a 6-year-old little boy, I struggled
yeah,
with that. I was like, damn, they opened this movie with that.
yeah, that was rough, man. I mean, the kid was a little prick, but he didn't deserve that, you know.
Not at all. He was a
Um,
dick though. That's why I told my wife, I'm like, they're making the kid out to be a dick, so you don't feel bad when he gets when he gets rubbed out.
exactly, exactly. Let's talk about that final the final death. So okay, we and Madison said this too. This is coming from a 13-year-old child who saw Halloween Kills.
Mhm.
And she said, so Michael got shot, stabbed, burnt, numerous other
Mhm.
things, and he lived through that. She sliced his throat, she slit his wrist, and he was technically dead.
He was dead at that
And,
point. Yeah.
and then they took him and they just said, no mercy, motherfucker. We're gonna make sure you don't come back this time. Because he wasn't dead enough for them. So the whole
Right.
town of Haddonfield comes to what we're gonna call Michael's funeral.
Hmm.
And they put him in the
The
what was
car,
that?
the car crusher, the
Yeah,
I don't know what the
the
actual term of that is. I've seen videos of people throwing random things. I
yeah,
never saw anybody throw Michael Myers in there before. I got to ask you
dude.
something though. For a minute when Lori was standing there, were you half expecting her to jump in?
I actually, yeah, I said, you jump in there, you bitch. I was like, you jump in there,
I
you
thought
bitch.
she was going to. I was like, is she gonna stand on him and go down with him? And everybody's just okay with that. Like, because I remember the whole thing about maybe we both have to die. I'm
Yeah,
like, wouldn't it be some shit if she just went right down into the fucking, I'll call it a wood chipper. I know that's not what it is, but that's the only
right,
thing that come to mind.
dude.
Um,
To watch his body fold up like
oh
that,
Lord.
and then his head smashed. Like
Yeah,
I'm just sitting there going, that can't be Michael. That can't be Michael.
yeah,
But it was.
it was.
Like that was him. Like we watched him
Yeah.
for the first time ever. We watched Michael
Yeah.
Myers die in one of the most fucked up ways possible.
For real. And I'm not talking about the Rob Zombie bullshit. I'm talking about
No.
The real Michael Myers, the Michael
Yeah, I
Myers from
mean,
1978.
yeah,
He is, as of now, in this timeline, is
yes.
dead,
Yes.
is done and cannot come back from, you don't come
No.
back from that. I mean,
Uh
granted, this is
listen, man.
this is movie land. I mean, but
Listen, I was waiting for him to, you got Lori and you got Hawkins sitting there having Halloween ended on a happy note. Think about
yeah,
that.
I know.
Think about that for a second. I wanted to see Michael pop up all dangled up and fucked up and just
Well,
put a knife right through her.
not gonna lie, when they strapped him to the car, my first thought was, oh, he ain't dead.
I was hoping there'd be something there,
They're
man.
gonna get to the place and he's gonna hop up off that car and fuck everybody up. He's gonna one by
Dude,
one, he's gonna toss them into that chipper.
yes. When
You
they
know?
started when they started crowd surfing with him, I was like, all right, get up and fuck everybody up in the
Yeah,
town. Fuck them all up again.
yeah.
And it was like, oh no,
I
it's not gonna happen.
yeah,
It's not gonna happen.
no.
Like, dude, when they showed the scene of her pushing him, I was like, oh, they're not gonna put him in there. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And then it happened, and I'm like, dude, no. I sat there and I watched the credits, and I just sat there and I was like,
Honestly, in terms of and it's so weird because we're talking about a brutal serial killer. you know,
right. But you know what,
um,
man? You watch these movies and you
I
grow
know, I
to
know.
love the
Well, first of
character.
all,
You just
I never really liked the people that he kills. Even in this movie, the people that Corey killed all fucking deserved it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
uh, but it was when he was on the counter still and doing the twitching and all the blood draining out of him.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, dude, when she stabbed him up under the like the armpit
yeah,
area and shit right in there, dude, you just
yeah,
heard that shit spilling out, man.
yeah. And then
She
the
she
cut the
hit him in
artery.
every, yes, she hit him in all the good spots where she
Yeah,
knew it would drain him out, man.
yeah.
She knew. And it was like,
I gotta tell you though, when Corey was down and she heard the commotion and she knew it was Michael because she knew he had
mhm.
that damn mask and she knew Michael
Oh
was
yeah.
coming for it. It was pretty badass to see her just walk up, lock the doors, and then casually walk by where she knew he would see her. Like he
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
even there. Like I was like, that's a badass bitch right there, man.
Yeah. She was, dude, she was prepared, man. I mean,
Yeah. She never fully believed that he would not eventually cross her path again.
oh yeah.
And
And she
by the
never,
way, he still wasn't coming after her.
no,
He
no.
had, what he was thinking when he saw her walk by. He's probably like, motherfucker.
Right. Oh man, this bitch again.
Yep.
But you know what? All the stuff that we saw in the trailer, a lot of it was not in the movie.
No, you're right.
So we missed out on a lot of, I
There
think,
was
really
never
cool scenes.
right. Well, the one scene where Corey's sitting on the steps telling her Michael's coming back for you, that never happened.
Yep. No, with that blur shot of him putting the mask back on, that never
That never
happened.
happened. The
No.
scene where she says, "I've been seeing him watching me. He's been out there watching me." That never
Yep.
happened. Which
Nope.
that was they should have left that in because that was a
I
cool.
agree.
That
I
would have been
agree.
cool because letting. But I think they probably cut that because they wanted to make it seem like she didn't know what was coming. They
Yeah.
wanted to make her seem like she was surprised, and then you find out that
So
she knew all
let
along.
me let me ask you this then. If that really was Michael there uh at that house while Corey was killing the doctor, which he was originally floating in the pool. So that was a difference of the trailer too.
Yeah.
Um, if that was really Michael there, why was Michael willing to work with this kid? Like they were killing
Yeah.
together essentially. Why?
Yeah, they were friends basically. Well, he helped. He
Yeah.
helped. He got Michael. I felt like maybe Corey went down there, and Michael was essentially, I don't know if you want to call it retired or whatever.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And Corey,
He said, I had enough.
yeah, he's done. I mean, he was obviously pretty banged up from the last one. He's older. I mean, come on, he's an old man at this point, and I thought maybe Corey reinvigorated him a little bit. Like you said, he looked
Yeah.
stronger.
See, and that's what I thought was happening. I thought about the whole the more he kills, the more he transcends, right? I thought about
Yeah,
that line.
yeah,
And I thought, okay, he's fucking this cop up and he's steadily stabbing and it
yeah.
looks like he's okay, he's starting to feel it now. He's getting it, right?
But then he just stayed in the sewer.
Right. And then when he went down there and took the mask from him, I'm like, I know you did not just disrespect the fuck out of Michael Myers like that.
And he just like shoved him over and was like, give it to me. You're just an old
Right.
man in a mask.
Yeah, dude, like that I feel was very done poorly on David Gordon Green's part. You don't
Yeah.
disrespect Michael. Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael got his revenge. He snapped Corey's neck, which was beautiful. That was a wonderful scene, let me tell you.
Yeah, needed to happen.
But
yeah.
Then I feel like you turn around and you have that fight and then you just pin him down and basically you just slice him up and he's done. It's like
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
I need to know what didn't we see? I want to know what we didn't see.
I mean, Corey did most of, if not all of the killing.
Yeah.
I mean, let's think about it. We know that Michael killed the cop, but he did it with Corey's help.
Right. He killed the cop. He killed that girl. We think, hopefully, that was him. But
yeah, we don't know for sure because that's kind of up in the air in terms. I mean,
Right.
it makes. There was the scene where he was riding the motorcycle, and I looked at my wife, and I was like, "How funny would it be if it was Michael hanging onto the back of the motorcycle?"
oh, geez. See his little hair blowing in the wind from
like,
the mask, and
but
shit.
only half of it because the other half is burnt.
He had little cobwebs flying and shit. Oh, dude, that's funny. Man, I don't know, man. I feel like they did him wrong. They played. I just feel Michael was handled poorly.
That's what people hate about the movie. I mean,
Yeah.
You can't say you can't say it was a bad movie.
No, I don't. I think there was cool story told. Okay, listen, we talked about this before. I know that you could not have made Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends all set on the same night. It would be too much.
Oh no, yeah. No,
so essentially you would have made Ends if you would have picked up right after Kills. Okay, Laurie would have went to his house on her way from the hospital. They would have fought right there and it would have been Halloween Resurrection. One of them would have had to have died in the beginning of that movie in the first 10, 15 minutes. And then you would have had to take another route. So
right.
Corey essentially would have been the new Michael Myers without Michael Myers at all after that.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in hell you can continue on. If he was that beat up in 4 years, what the fuck would he be if Laurie went to the house and tried to fight him? He would have been useless because he'd have been all fucked up. Or would he not have been fucked up? Who knows? Because he had enough to go in there and kill Karen. It was just some ballsy decisions, man.
Well, I mean, it was very ballsy because you created a new story and focused most of your movie on that new story. Michael Myers was a background character. Michael Myers
He was, yeah.
was an inspiration for what happened in this movie, but this movie was about Corey Cunningham and his story, and about him tormenting Haddonfield, and him, and eventually he does get the Michael mask, and that's what brings it all together. But this movie was not a Michael Myers movie.
No, I mean, it was, but it wasn't.
Right. I mean, Michael Myers was a background character.
Yeah.
Corey was opposite of Kills, opposite of Halloween Kills.
Big time. Corey was a villain, but Haddonfield in a whole was a villain too.
Mm-hmm.
Michael was a villain. To some people, Laurie was a villain in the movie. It depends on what you like. I think Laurie was a villain because I'm mad that she killed Michael Myers. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm kind of upset about that. I don't even think Allison was she was in the movie, but I don't think she had a huge, she was there, but her focus wasn't big like it probably could have been a little bit more. Essentially, this movie was about Corey.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, no, it was, and it could have gone a lot of ways. You could have had, Corey somehow survive and carry on the tradition and be the new Haddonfield boogeyman, although I don't think that would sell.
No. Her ending statement in her book was perfect though, when she said that, the evil never really dies, it just takes different shape.
Yeah.
That was
shape,
Corey. Yeah, that was Corey. He was the evil that changed shape.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she was ending her book with, or I would suppose that was the ending.
And Michael's always been known as the shape. He's just the vessel that carries this evil. And it kind of transcended, if you will, into Corey, who kind of carried at least a part of the evil.
He went on a damn rampage there for a minute at that junkyard, boy.
He had some solid kills though. I mean,
yeah.
A couple of I mean, and then again, the only one in that scene you were sad to see was the big guy.
I don't know if that was like his stepdad. He was
like a stepdad or something, but he obviously cared for the kid.
I love it though. He had like zero impact. He was like, "Well, I hope you find love. Don't tell her about the bike." Like he was like the worst dad ever, but like he was nice at the same time.
He was nice. You liked him. I think he cared about. I think he cared about him, and he obviously stood up to protect him.
Yeah, I don't think Corey was going to kill him. I really don't.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think he was.
That's the thing, and that's the thing. You look back and you look at Corey, and you think, I don't think Corey was pure evil. I think he was a conflicted kid who I mean, obviously he did evil, terrible things, but I don't think that he was evil in the way that Michael is evil.
No, he hurt the people that fucked with him. His mom, obviously, the kids, the bully kids.
Right.
He wasn't going to hurt Allison. He killed himself over hurting her.
Well, and I actually thought that that's what it was going to come down to. I thought, it was my wife who actually pointed it out, and that really was the theory that I started going with midway through the movie was, it's all going to be going good between him and Michael until Michael decides he wants to kill Allison, and then Corey's going to flip flop, and that's how those two were going to come to blows. Of course, that never ended up happening, but I thought that's what was going to happen.
Yeah, that could have worked too.
Yeah,
I think that he essentially would have. He was leading Michael to Laurie, obviously.
Yeah, again,
that's what he was trying to do. I think he would have let Michael kill Laurie, but I don't think he would have hurt Allison now.
Right.
I don't think he'd let her hurt Allison. I think
he wanted Laurie dead.
Oh yeah. I think he would have.
It's late, guys.
I think he would have actually I think he would have let Michael kill him over killing Allison.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I think had it have been a different way, had Laurie have maybe got killed and then he would have went after Allison, I think Corey would have saved her and got himself killed instead.
Right.
And then she would have been the one to kill Michael. There's a lot of different ways you could have went with it. I would love to see what we didn't get to see.
I would like to see what we didn't get to see. At the end of the day, I don't think it matters which route they chose in terms of everything we just discussed, because ultimately
shit, I'll do it too.
I know it's late. It's late for me. I don't know how late.
Contagious.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
This is what happens when you get us on a late night.
That's why
Right.
we usually record these in the afternoon.
I honestly though, I don't think we're even going to edit this one. I think we're just going to put it straight up, right? So it's out there.
Yeah, I say we get up as quickly
Okay.
as possible.
Yeah, yeah, works for me. I'll
But
make I'll make you a cover picture and I'll send it over to
that
you and just
works.
post it up.
That works. All right,
Uh
guys. Listen, we're gonna do a much deeper dive.
yeah.
Obviously, this is just we wanted to get our initial thoughts out there. By the time you're seeing this is most likely going to be the day after, which for me would be tomorrow morning. But these are our initial thoughts. We just saw the movie. We're going to do a deep dive. Um, you know, I liked the movie I thought it was well done in terms of just what it was. I'm with you. I felt like Michael was really, really just diminished and weak and underutilized in a lot of ways.
It was almost really sad to see him like that,
Yeah.
like it was very sad to see him like that.
Yeah. I even think Loomis would have been disappointed.
Yeah, right. He'd have came down here, he'd be like, you can't push him. This motherfucker,
Michael,
but
get up, Michael.
right, he'd be like his fucking Mickey from Rocky. He'd be like coaching his ass to get up and go fuck up Corey.
Right.
Oh man.
Loomis would not have liked Corey either.
No, he would not. Actually, Corey probably wouldn't have liked Loomis either. He probably would have put a bullet in his ass.
No, yeah.
Shit.
So there you have it, guys. Our initial reaction to Halloween Ends. Again, I still don't know what to say about it. I still don't know what kind of conclusion to draw from it.
Yeah, man. I'm still feeling some kind of way, and I really don't.
Yeah.
We're both usually more peppy and happy. It's not even well, it's late, but it's more or less like, I'll be honest with you, my morale kind of went down after seeing the ending of that. I was like, oh,
you know what I think it is? I saw it, and when Michael's body was destroyed,
yeah,
it hit
I knew
me.
that was it.
It hit me like this is it. We're done.
Halloween really did just end. It's like,
it's
holy
over,
shit, man.
And again, before I know we're gonna get they're gonna do. Yeah, I know there's gonna be another Halloween
we
movie.
get it.
We will see Michael Myers again in some form, and we're gonna be. But in terms of like, I don't think we're gonna go back to I think it's gonna be a remake or something of that nature. I think in terms of the 1978 Halloween, I think this is it.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Nah, man. Zombie did a complete reboot. He told the story, gave us a background. Halloween 2 went a totally different route. And then Blumhouse came along and they said, hey, let's make this 40 years after the first one. And dude, by the time we get it, if someone decided to, hey, let's make it 50 or 60 years after the first one, for what purpose? Because Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be dead or in a fucking retirement home.
Although she did say she was open to returning to more.
Yeah, that's true.
She can't come back and be Laurie Strode again, though.
Dude, it's so tough because now she's like the hero of Haddonfield, regardless. This woman legit killed the man that's been terrorizing that town for 44 fucking years. Nobody better fucking say anything bad to her now, because she might throw your ass in that damn thing too.
Yeah.
Shit, man. It would be tough to sell her again to come back after, we'll say, 50 years or 60 years after the first one. Like you said, you got to start somewhere else. You have to.
I mean, it has to be a remake. Again, they have to go the remake. The first remake, I'm sorry for any Rob Zombie fans out there, but the first remake was an epic failure. Let's go find somebody, a fan of the original, and see if they can do it. Hey, Blumhouse, we're available.
We'll do it. Just saying, we'll do it.
We'll work together, and we'll give.
I have seen everybody saying, well, I think we all owe Rob Zombie an apology after seeing that. No. I'm still good. Halloween 2 will always still be probably the worst one in the whole franchise. No, I can't do it.
I hated his take on it.
I can't say that I hate Ends. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but I'm still processing why some choices were made. That's the best
I think
thing I can say.
I think I agree with you. I liked excuse me, I liked the movie. I thought Halloween Ends was a very good movie. I'll even go as far and say as it was as complete, the most complete movie in terms of out of the three of them that they did.
Yeah.
Because I can't look at anything and say, "Oh, that was really stupid that they did that." What I can do is say, they went in a direction that, as a Halloween fan, I never thought I would see, because
Yeah.
I think that you're taking a beloved horror character and you really just beat the shit out of him. I mean, you
Yeah.
just
Yeah. I think that's the hardest pill to swallow with the whole thing, man.
yeah,
Just the way that,
an
like I said,
iconic. That was an
yeah,
iconic character.
yeah.
Um,
And
you know,
now we
so
have to talk about him in past tense now because technically he's dead.
he's dead. He is
Uh,
dead. What do they? What do you think? What do you think? They just rake him in underneath there? Where's all that go? They
dude, I don't know. Like,
break it. Let's get it out of there.
yeah. And the fact that, and just because we're on the subject, the fact that we got "Don't Fear the Reaper" is the last song.
That was
To
cool.
start
They
the
did
end
that.
credits.
That was cool.
Yeah,
They did that. Yeah.
yeah. And we saw that Lori kept the mask, so
Yeah, that was something too.
that maybe that's her. Hey, man, listen, when you kill a deer, sometimes you mount them on the wall. Maybe that's her trophy. She finally
Yeah,
got her.
yeah.
That's all you can
Hell,
think about, man.
I'd burn the hell out of that mask if I were her.
It was kind of sad watching him go into the whatever the fuck that really is. Someone knows what the hell that's called. Please tell us the thing there.
The wood chipper that's not a wood chipper, but I don't know what else
Right.
to call.
The car crusher, whatever the fuck it is. To see him go down in there without his mask on, though, that was sad, man. It was
Yeah,
sad.
at least
And,
toss
and
the
I,
mask in as a sign of
yeah,
respect.
I mean, there was something was saying to me, it's not Michael, it's not Michael, but it was. There is no other explanation. It was.
Yeah,
So, yeah, man. That's where I'm at. Like I said, I don't hate it, but I am pondering and questioning a lot of the choices made. It was very ballsy and gutsy to go that
oh, no doubt,
approach.
no doubt.
And like I said, I really think that he, from the start, showed us, I'm giving you Halloween 3, but in my way.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Everything from Michael not being in the majority of the movie,
Yep.
to the mask again being obvious. I mean, when she tried to take the mask off, he really quickly pulled it
Yeah.
back on.
He wasn't playing. He put that
Yeah,
fucker back on quick.
yeah. So
The only difference that I think they did with this, yeah, I say that he made his own version of Halloween 3, but he knew that the biggest gripe was Michael wasn't in Halloween 3.
so he
So
put
they
him
made
in
sure
it.
he was,
Yeah.
well, they made sure he was still in there in
Mhm.
some way. He wasn't in a lot, but they made sure he
Yeah.
was in there some way.
Yeah.
But then they also like punched you in the gut by saying, "Oh, we're about to fuck him up though, so watch out."
Yeah.
So yeah, I will say that was as a fan of Michael Myers, I was very
Yeah.
sad to watch. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to see what other ending that he was teetering on or with,
Right.
because I don't know if maybe Laurie died in a different ending. I don't know if they killed Michael in a different way. I would love to see it. I hope that eventually, now that we're done with these versions of the movie, that maybe we'll finally get the ending of 2018 we never saw, and maybe we'll get some difference here in
Yeah.
ends and be able to finally.
Right.
All you can do is cross your fingers and hope that when they bring out the
Yeah.
DVD, Blu-ray, what have you, still books, which will be probably by January, that they include some of this shit in there, because I'd love to see it, man. I gotta
Yeah.
see what's there that we didn't see. I have to.
In the meantime, get prepared for a long, let's say 6 to 10 years.
Yeah, probably, dude. Yeah.
And
You figure what? It's been 44 years now. So if they do take the 50-year approach, we got how many? We got about what? 6 years. Yeah,
yeah.
6 years. So we got about 6 years if they decide to do a 50. If they don't decide to do 50 and they decide to just say, hey, maybe in 10 years from now, we're looking at, again, who knows what's going to happen
Well,
in that time.
I mean, yeah, I mean, everybody involved in the project said there's going to be more eventually. Just common sense. Michael Myers may be dead in a certain timeline, but
Yes.
Michael Myers, You cannot kill you can't kill the boogeyman, and that's
Cannot.
that. So
Cannot.
we'll end
Um,
there.
yeah, that's it, man.
So that's pretty much all I got. Do you want to? Do you
Yeah,
want? Do you got anything
I
else to add?
I honestly, I'm still like kind of in awe, man. I don't know what else to say. I'm
Yeah,
with you there. We'll I think we're gonna let it process some more. I think we're probably
yeah.
both gonna watch it again. I'm sure now on
Oh yeah,
Peacock,
yeah. I even already
and
started.
yeah, I want to catch and see what maybe I missed or
Yeah,
didn't, whatever. And I'm sure we're gonna come back and deep dive into this fucker some more. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Very much so. So next time we talk about this, it's going to be very much in depth. We're going to analyze this thing and tear it apart. So, but you guys have our initial reactions.
yeah,
Which I mean, maybe isn't a lot to give right now because I'm not much of a jump the gun and kind of with something like this. I just feel like it needs more time to analyze. I feel like I just need to see it more. So,
I agree. 100%.
but yeah, man, it's depressing.
Yeah, no, it is very, man. Like I told you, like legit. Cassie and Madison was like, "Are you gonna cry?" She's like, "You look like you're gonna cry." I was like, I'm sad, man. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie. I'm sitting here,
yeah,
my whole morale just changed. I was
yeah,
like, "Damn, what are they doing to me, man?"
yeah,
Like, what are
yeah,
you doing? For the fans of Laurie Strode, they're happy as fuck right now. And
yeah.
I don't hate the Laurie Strode character. I'm not
No,
against Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm not against Laurie
right.
Strode.
No, and
But
you
as
know what? I do feel like her character deserves some vindication.
Yeah, I mean,
You
look, dude,
know,
this man has terrorized. Well, we use the line from Thriller. The man has terrorized the neighborhood for a very long time. Um, I said it before. I'll say it again. I understand that he had to die. I get it.
yeah.
Um, I just
Just
don't like.
it's unfortunate he wasn't able to take down half of Haddonfield with him.
Yeah, I mean, there should have been a little more fight on his part. A few more kills from him. And I think I would have been a little bit happier saying, okay, Michael went down, but goddamn it, he went down fight.
Mhm.
But they didn't give him that. They weakened him up a lot, and then I feel like he was just. We got a very beat up, weak, sad, defeated
Yeah,
Michael Myers, and it was
he.
sad.
That's a good way to put it. He was
Yeah,
defeated from the
he was.
start.
Yes, 100%, dude.
So
Uh, the only two times that he seemed like he was really okay, three times when he grabbed Corey around the throat, when he
yeah,
had Lori at the end by the throat, and when
hmm
he killed that cop.
yeah,
That was Michael Myers.
yeah.
Other than that, he was just a
And
beat down old man.
maybe if it was him that killed the girl, we still don't know if he pinned
Yeah,
her.
right. Yeah.
But
So
it
I'll say those
doesn't
four.
fit in with what we saw to think that that was really him standing there doing that. But it also doesn't make sense. Corey could not do that. So
See, yeah, I don't know, man. I only thought about that because the way he obviously that wasn't Lori talking to him at all in that house.
right,
That didn't happen, because she's not Michael Myers. Her ass doesn't just disappear. You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
So I thought maybe he was just visioning him. He was visioning Michael doing it, but it was him that did it, and that's the way I took it. But I'm probably wrong, and someone will probably massacre me for even saying it.
He may have killed her normally and envisioned himself pinning her to the wall.
And that's true too.
Yeah,
See, exactly. I feel like that was something that he
yeah.
was, thinking. But yeah,
Because
we
he
will
was
deep.
projecting himself on the mic as
Yes,
Michael. You know,
yes.
so
But we will deep dive into it. I know you probably
yes,
want to go crash.
yeah, I got to. Bright and early tomorrow, we're going to the Beat Festival. That's not even a
Uh-oh.
joke. We're actually going to the Beat Festival. So,
Hey man, it is what it is, bro.
if anybody wants to know what the Beat Festival is and how it was, I'll be happy to talk about it later. But nobody
Oh,
probably wants to know. So,
hey, you never know. Somebody might want to hear about that, man.
all right, guys, that's it.
All
We'll
right.
see you next time.
Later.